I had a mother ask me a question offline that matters a lot when we're dealing with babies who have an HIE brain injury. What that mother asked was whether nurses actually have any real authority during labor and delivery, because in her labor, what she could see was tension that was developing. And the nurse, she said, seemed uneasy about what was happening, and the doctor just did not seem to be listening to what the nurse was saying. And this mother wondered if nurses are just supposed to just sit there and quietly go along with whatever that the doctor is deciding during labor. And in labor and delivery, nurses have their own independent duty to mother and baby. They have their own duty. They are not shielded by the idea that the doctor is in charge, so the nurses have no responsibility. In the medical legal world, nurses are held accountable for the care that they give. They are licensed professionals. They have a duty to act. They have a duty to question when things look like they are not going right. And when needed, they have a duty to escalate matters. And this is why a concept called a chain of command that exists in hospitals. And this is not just some type of theoretical concept. Hospitals usually know that disagreements can happen with a lot of these things. And the hospitals know that there are going to be moments in labor and delivery which can be extremely dangerous. These hospitals know that not every provider will see the same strip the same way. And for these types of reasons, most hospitals have a chain of command language that is going to be written in their policy. So if a nurse believes that the fetal heart strip or that the clinical picture is heading to a dangerous place, they can elevate that concern. The nurses can call the charge nurse, or they can call a nursing supervisor. They can escalate even if the doctor disagrees. The nurses are not expected to just sit back and hope that things don't go bad with everything. And this can be uncomfortable. It really can be uncomfortable because look, nobody wants to feel like they are stepping on someone else's toes. Nobody wants to feel like they are not being a team player. But when the outcome or when the state can be death or permanent brain injury, the duty to the patient is supposed to outweigh any type of workplace discomfort. In HIE cases, when I review these cases as a birth injury lawyer, we can sometimes see that nurses will be charting a Category 2 fetal heart strip and that these strips are slipping towards a potential Category 3. And this is going to matter because not all Category 2 strips are going to be the same. Some Category 2 patterns are going to be steady and they're going to be tolerable. Other types of Category 2 strips, they could be deteriorating and they could be demanding as escalation. So sometimes even when we see the documentation in the chart that the nurse is suggesting that the nurse did understand that something was wrong, but there was no chain of command step that was made. And that is where you can have painful questions for families, because the questions then begin to say, like, why did nobody step in? Why did nobody try to push this thing up higher? Why was this allowed to drift into a catastrophic outcome? Thankfully, most of the time, nurses and doctors, that they work well together. There are not going to be problems. Thankfully that this does not come up every day, but sometimes it does. And when it does, and the stakes are high, we have to act. And when you've got fetal distress, when that is present, when you've got Pitocin still running, when there are decelerations that are evolving, there is going to be a duty for nurses to act. And of course, not every bad outcome is going to be everyone's fault. There are going to be times when tragedy or bad results, when they happen, even when everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing. But when preventable harm is present, the law gives families the right to look at the records and ask, why did this all happen? Again, I'm Marcus Boston. If you have any other questions about your baby's HIE brain injury at birth or a subsequent CP diagnosis from a medical legal standpoint, don't hesitate to reach out and contact me. You can find out more information about me and my profile. If you're watching this video on certain apps, you can send me a DM and we could chat a little bit about your baby story, or you could just wait and watch the picture that follows the end of this video. All right, that's going to be it for today's quick educational video. Have a great day, everybody.